Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Christina and I'm a mom of 5 kids. I share all kinds of things here on this channel, and today I am sharing with you a fall book haul as promised. I have books to share with you from toddler to teen, like baby, toddler to teen, because I have kids from 18 months to almost 14 years old. So if you have kids any of those ages, there should be something in here for you. Also, as a bonus, at the end of the video, one of the books that I'm going to share is part of my Land of Storybooks box. So I will do a quick unboxing of this as well at the end. So you'll get to see not only the book that came in the October box from the Land of Storybooks, but also all the fun stuff that comes in the box as well, if you're not familiar with it, or if you just want to see what's in the October box. So I have all of these packages that some got lost, and a big package that I'm waiting for from Amazon also is lost, but hopefully that shows up. I was going to give you guys a porch makeover, a fall porch makeover. Hopefully I'll still be able to do that and I don't kind of like lose my motivation because of the fact that my main piece for the front porch is still not here and don't know if it's coming. So anyways, let's jump into some books. I'm going to start with the youngest and kind of go from there. The first 2 books are fall themed board books. I did have one more. It's called Because of an Acorn, but it's running late also, so I needed to just share with you guys what I have. So the first one is just called Leaves, and this is such a sweet looking little book. I just love the artwork. This was actually the winner of the Ezra Jack Keats New Writer Award. So this is a new author, and it is just such a sweet story about like discovery and just kind of the inquisitive mind of a child. So I really am excited for this one. I love board books for my littles because they can be a little bit rough on books, and so really excited to be able to put some books on the bottom shelves that they can just grab and have fun with. I typically, when I have like a themed set of books, those go in our playroom on the Montessori shelves so that they kind of can see the fronts and get excited. And then the overflow either gets stored away if they're seasonal type books, or if I want them to be able to access them still, they go right in our fireplace storage right there. So that is Leaves by David Ezra Stein. Super sweet. All of these I did get from Amazon, so you should be able to grab them. I will try to remember to include them in our book sections of our Amazon storefront. This one is Little Acorn, and this is adorable. And I know there are a bunch of like little, I don't know, pumpkin, little apple, I think, all different ones in this series. This is the first one we got though, and it says, have you ever wondered what happens when a little acorn becomes a big oak tree? This beautifully illustrated story will delight children and parents alike, and also offers a perfect introduction to the life cycle of trees. So I'm really excited about that because I love when something is educational but still fun, so that they are learning something. Fun stories alone are just fine too, but it's an added bonus if they can learn a little bit of something through reading and through play. So that is Little Acorn, and this one is kind of like the nice cushiony hardcover board book. So that is like the littles, and then a lot of these I will read to my littles, but then also my 6-year-old, and we really will read a lot of these as a family. Even my older kids, like, they still listen and look. So this one does not have a lot of text in it. It's called In the Middle of Fall, and it's really, again, beautiful fall illustrations, and there is one in this series from every season. And so you can see just kind of the simple text narrating the story. Different activities that you might do in the fall, different colors and things. And so this one I'm really excited to read to them as well. That's In the Middle of Fall. And then here are the other ones that they have. Next up, we have Hello Harvest Moon. I'm really excited about this. This says, every night the moon works its magic, conversing with moonflowers and moths, pulling the high tides, bathing streets and yards in its brilliance. It shows its It shows us many faces, fall, crescent new, but nothing is as breathtaking as the harvest moon, rising ripe and huge over autumn fields. So this one, again, I'm a sucker for beautiful illustrations. Like, yes, great literature, but I think children's literature, it's a requirement to have really beautiful illustrations. So that's Hello Harvest Moon. And this one I feel like is very poetic, and everyone in the family is going to love this one as well. So I'm a big fan of picture books, like even as an adult. This one is, I think, a pretty popular one. This one is Seeds and Trees, and it says, follow the story of a young prince who gives seeds or words to and gathers them from those he encounters. Later in his life, he notices how the dark trees seek to be harming the green ones and discovers he can cut down, uproot, and then replace those dark trees with green seeds. And then there's a quote that says, be careful what you water, for it will surely grow. And I absolutely love that this touches on the power of words, because this is something that I talk to not only my kids about, but my students as well. I'm a middle school ELA teacher, if you didn't know that. And so this is so powerful, and I may even bring this in and read this to my middle schoolers, because I definitely read them picture books every once in a while too, especially as a way to introduce or review with them things like setting and plot and character and imagery and literary elements and things like that, sensory details. So that's Seeds and Trees. Oh, and while I'm talking about them, I will shout out to you guys my wonderful 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And for my 6th grader that has been asking for a shout out because they found my YouTube, you know who you are. Here's your shout out. You guys are amazing, and I love you a whole bunch. I have been out sick a little bit this week, and I genuinely miss them. They drive me a little crazy sometimes. You guys know that, but I genuinely miss them. And so, there's your shout out, girlfriend. All right, so autumn is here. This is the next one. I just already love the Canada geese on the front. We have lots of them around here. We are in New York. I don't know if they're everywhere or not. Like, I should know that because we have studied birds extensively while homeschooling, but look at how sweet this little book is. So again, all little aspects of autumn, baking, more of the geese. And I know my little guy will really enjoy that because he always notices the geese around here and at our favorite park that we go to all the time. So that is Autumn is Here. Next one is Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. This one looks so cute. This says, as the leaves fall from his favorite tree, Fletcher worries that something is terribly wrong. But then winter comes, and with it a wonderful surprise. Do you know what it is? Join Fletcher and find out. So I really am excited about this one because this one will be really good too for like not just the summer to fall, but the fall to winter, right? Because it is kind of cool. I was reading Crow's Call. I'll shout out my middle schoolers again. I was reading Crow's Call. Oh my goodness, look at this. To my middle schoolers to kind of talk about setting. It's by Lois Lowry, if you don't know. And it is a picture book. And we talked about how the setting of fall is not just the same, right? Like fall in September is very different than fall in November. So I like that this one kind of touches on the transition from fall to winter, which brings me to my next one, which is the opposite of that. And this is Goodbye Summer, Hello Autumn. This one is a hardcover. It's the only hardcover, I think, other than the board books that I got. And really, really beautiful. And this says, as trees sway in the cool breeze, blue jays head south and leaves change colors. Everyone knows autumn is on its way. We took this one out from the library last year and we really loved it. And I had planned on doing a fall library book haul again. And honestly, I love my library, but I have been like super busy lately, and we're definitely in like a life transition, and most of it is really, really good stuff, like huge blessings, but busy nonetheless. So, and then also I thought about like if they're fall books that we really love, then I would rather just, I don't know, have them And then we can always like add in some fun new ones when I get a chance to hit the library, or even just get online and order some for curbside pickup. So that is Goodbye Summer, Hello Autumn, and this one is also part of a series. They have one for every season, Goodbye Spring, Hello Summer, and so on. So really fun one. These last two, this one you could say is fall-ish because mums or chrysanthemums are fall-ish type flowers. Could not think of the word. But this one is really a sweet story. This one is about a girl named Chrysanthemum and how her parents love her so much and they give her this name because they think it so fits her. But then she goes to school and she gets made fun of because of her name, and then she hates her name. And she goes on like this journey of realizing once again how wonderful her name really is. And I just thought that this was such a sweet, sweet story. So this is Chrysanthemum, and this actually came in my fall Knowledge Crate subscription box, as well as this one. So this one came in my fall Knowledge Crate, and this one came in my Safari themed mini crate, which is also from Knowledge Crates. They have their seasonal boxes, and they just recently released their themed mini crates. So they're a smaller version, and instead of being seasonal, they're a specific theme like safari or dinosaurs or unicorns or something like that. And this one was in the Safari crate, and I just love how this is not like your typical like safari animal book. It's actually about a boy who is dealing with his big emotions and figuring out that maybe having a temper and freaking out isn't the best thing, which is really good for my almost 3-year-old. I did read this to him the other day while he was playing with his sensory bin from that same crate. And sometimes he will snuggle up and listen to a whole story and want me to read it over and over and over again. But he is a very busy toddler. So if you needed a tip on how to get your kids to sit and listen to a full book, get them busy with their hands and just read to them. And it's interesting because he didn't look at a ton of the pictures, except when I asked him to, because he was so focused on his Safari sensory bin. But at the end, when I just conversationally asked him questions about the story, he was paying attention. So anyways, sorry, this is Ravis Roar. You can see him, he turns into a tiger when he gets angry. And so you kind of see that whole progression. He's like the youngest one in the family and can't run as fast and always gets left out and always gets like last everything. And then at the end of the story, he realizes that he doesn't want to act like that. And so that is Ravis Roar. Highly recommend. I have 3 chapter books here. The first one I have been sharing a lot over on Instagram, but I could not leave it out because we are loving this book. This was the September book from the Land of Storybooks subscription, and this is hands down one of our favorite read alouds that we've ever read. I'm genuinely loving it. Everyone's loving it. It is the Green Ember. It is so, so good. We're actually not super far into it because we've been so busy and haven't had as much time to read, but every single time I read it, they're like, please, no, one more page, one more chapter. So that is a sign of a good book as far as I'm concerned. The Green Ember, highly recommend. So well written. Love, love, love. These 2 are new. This one I have seen recommended so many times. And as I was looking for fall books for tweens and then fall books for teens, there was not a lot of like fallish stuff that came up other than like spooky stuff, which is not my jam. You will not ever see any spooky stuff over here. So if you're looking for that, guys, sorry, I'm not your girl for that. But this did come up and I'm like, you know what? I keep putting it in the back of my mind that I want to read Pax. And so this was one that I got for them. And this says, Pax the book is like Pax the fox, half wild and wholly beautiful. Then the second one says, a startling work of fiction that should be read and discussed by children and adults alike. And this does have like very minimal pictures in it, kind of like the Green Ember. Like the Green Ember does have, I'll show you like one of them. Not every chapter, but every once in a while you will get a picture in here as well. So I am really, really excited about this one. I have a hard time, like, even though I want them to read independently, and they do read independently, when it's a book I'm excited about, I'm like, I want us to read it together. That's why we always have like a million read alouds going at once, but we'll see how this goes. This one I came across, I had not heard of this, but I am so excited about this one. This is another one that I know that they would just devour on their own, and I might just need to let them do that. But I also would love to read this as a read aloud, and I think this would be great also at school. So when we're done with it, this will come to school with us. I think all of these will be coming to school once we finish them, so that kids can either read them independently or we can read them as a class. Except in my kids' classes, they're probably not going to want to sit through the same book again, so I'll have to think through that. But because I have both of my boys, one in 5th, one in 8th, because I teach 5th through 8th. But anyways, this one sounded so good, and we read Wish Tree by the same author, Catherine Applegate, and about a year ago. We read it in the fall last year, and that is another beautiful book that I highly recommend. Definitely check that out. But this one says, beloved author Catherine Applegate proves in unexpected ways that friends matter, whether real or imaginary. Jackson and his family have fallen on hard times. There's no more money for rent and not much for food either. His parents, his little sister, and their dogs may have to live in their minivan again. Crenshaw is a cat. He's large, he's outspoken, and he's imaginary. He has come back into Jackson's life to help him, but is an imaginary friend enough to save this family from losing everything. And this was the quote right here, the review that I read on Amazon that made me click buy, and it said, paints a convincing and compassionate portrait of a social class, the working poor, underrepresented in children's books. And that gives me the chills even reading it. So I cannot wait to read this with them, watch them devour it, all of the things. Crenshaw, check it out. One that is on my list that I wanted to purchase, but I did not want to pay $16 for the hardcover, and the paperback doesn't come out until January, was Alone, and it is about a girl who finds herself alone with her dog after a series of unfortunate events, and it looks so good. So if you want to pay $16 for a book, or if you can find it at your library, go for it. Otherwise, the paperback comes out in January, and I will be grabbing it then because I think it's like $6. That's more my speed. So last but certainly not least, I am going to unbox The Land of Storybooks so you can see the book, if you don't already know, from the October box and the fun things that come along with it. I got my knife. It's so dramatic. So I knew ahead of time because I follow obviously The Land of Storybooks on Instagram, so I already knew what the book was, and I was so excited because I've always wanted to read it. But okay, so here's what's super cool about The Land of Storybooks, if you didn't already know. Like, cool quote number 1, there is always a letter for them to open and read, and I guess I'll show you that really quick. And this is from Sam and Lucy, who leads them on this fun journey. Then there is a sticker that they can either put on the downloadable poster from The Land of Storybooks or in the adventure guide, which I'll show you in just a second. So I feel bad opening this without them because I feel like they really like to do it, but we'll be okay. They'll be excited nonetheless. We did some of the crafts from the Green Ember so far. We've done the stained glass window. We made one of the recipes, which was super fun and super delicious, and I want to make again soon. But we still have one to make. So this is what it looks like when you open it up, guys. You have the adventure guide, which I'll give you a peek into in just a second. And Anne of Green Gables is the book for October. So super pumped. It looks like there is a craft to make her hat with her hair with the 2 braids. And then there is this chalkboard activity that you create with the book quote, and you decorate it with those cute little buttons and glitter and all of the things. So that looks super fun. There are enough for 2 crafts for 2 kids to do each craft. So I would have my oldest 4 doing them, and I would need to help my youngest one anyway. And so it's enough for them to each do one craft or for us to collaborate together that way. So I'll just show you really quick inside the adventure guide in case you haven't seen these. There is always a bookmark for them to cut out that has a quote or two from the book, and then it shows you what the craft should look like, which I find super helpful because I'm not like naturally crafty. I love it and I love doing it with my kids, but I definitely need step-by-step instructions, and I love having everything that I need right there. Then it gives you ideas like have an old-fashioned picnic, and then on this page is the scavenger hunt, so it gives you like discussion questions and things. And here we have some recipes. So super excited to try both of those. We are plant-based for the most part. Like I only cook and eat plant-based. The kids have other things sometimes when they go to family members' homes and things, but we easily changed the recipe for the den pot pies to a plant-based recipe very simply, and it was delicious. So if you have like dietary restrictions or you just choose to eat a certain way, there are definitely ways to easily modify those recipes. And then there's always a service project idea at the end, which I absolutely love. And then you can make copies of this if you need to, but you also get a digital adventure guide that you can print copies of when you purchase the box. And then it also, which I absolutely love, gives you recommended resources. So it gives you like some related picture books. And you guys, they are coming out with a picture books box. And I am so pumped about that one. Super excited. Stay tuned for that. If you're interested in trying the Land of Storybooks, I have a discount code and a link down below for you, as well as a discount code and a link for Knowledge Crate if you're interested in that. That is like the themed activities and seasonal activities subscription box, which does always come with a couple of books. Not middle grade novels because they're geared more, there's a preschool crate and a school age crate, but depending on what you're looking for, those are my favorite subscription boxes, hands down, which is why I continue to share them because I genuinely love them and we genuinely use them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you think you'll try out any of these books or these subscriptions. Let me know if you've read any of them. Let me know what you think, what your favorites are. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you are new so that I can say hi to you. If you're not already following us over on Instagram, you can follow us there at rooted_homelife. And I hope to see you soon in one of my next videos. Until then, stay rooted.